But first, Roger begins with a detective film I think we're going to be arguing about. It's Richard Dreyfuss in The Big Fix.
You think so, right, Jim? The Big Fix gives us a new kind of private eye, a 60s radical whose latest case forces him to re-examine what he thinks he's believed for the last 15 years. Richard Dreyfuss plays the detective. His name is Moses Wine, and he was at Berkeley with a guy who disappeared into the underground years ago. Well, when it looks as though the guy has resurfaced to sabotage a political campaign, Dreyfuss is brought into the case by an old girlfriend.
Look, I've got some people here. If it worries you so much, just take care of it yourself, all right? Moses Wine? Hi, I'm Sam Sebastian, Southern California coordinator. What happened to your hand? Bar fight with a butcher. Oh, here, sit down. Listen, I'm sorry to get you out so late.
That's okay. The longer I stayed at home, the poorer I was getting.
Listen, I'm very happy you're showing so much support for Hawthorne. Well, it's the man California needs. Let's face it.
Hold it. Save it for the kids in the 18th precinct, okay? It's a little late in the day for political hoo-ha.
You don't care who wins this campaign, do you?
You said it.
Okay. What do you know about the underground? We need someone who can move in that world, someone who will be trusted. I understand you're the man. Now, what do you know about the underground?
What everybody else does.
You went to Berkeley, didn't you?
That's right.
Didn't you know some of them personally?
That's not true. I just knew people who knew people like everybody else.
What about Howard Epps?
What about Howard Epps? Brothers and sisters and fellow Californians, join with me in supporting Miles Hawthorne for governor. I have spoken with the congressman, and I am convinced he can teach us to cooperate the way others have done in Europe and Asia. Back a man who backs the people, share the wealth. Walter Hawthorne, Howard Epps. It's not funny.
Do you realize what that can do to us in Orange County? Share the wealth?
Well, did he talk with the congressman?
Of course not. My problem is finding out who's behind this, whether it's Epps or not, and stopping him fast. And if it's a Dilworthy smear, I want everybody to know about it.
Well, it turns out that Dreyfuss knew Howard Epps in the old days, and so did we, sort of. The movie has a lot of characters we can almost recognize. Epps, for example, reminds us of Abby Hoffman, and there's a married couple who sort of seem inspired by William and Emily Harris, and even the candidate has a sneaky resemblance to Jerry Brown. The Big Fix mixes up two major ingredients. It's half and half. It's private eye cliches and everyday Southern California craziness, and Dreyfuss makes a hip and believable private eye. The movie's plot is incredibly complicated, but private eye movies are supposed to be incredibly complicated, and The Big Fix develops its characters as carefully as its complications.
Well, if private eye flicks are supposed to be complicated, there's another thing that they should be, and that is they should make us want to care about the solution of the crime. And every time I felt that this picture took off, whammo, another message, and only one message here, which is that you should be politically involved and you should be ashamed of being unpolitically involved. And I really don't need to be told that. It's rather obvious we should take control of our lives.
I don't think the message has that much to do with the movie, and I also don't, you know, most of the time in private eye movies, I don't really care about the solution of the crime. It's the process. It's getting there, introducing the characters, the investigation, the dialogue, the eccentric people the private eye comes across. That's more fun than who did it.
Yes, except he interrupts it. And, oh, it's real clear, Raj, that he wants to teach us something. We have a scene of him standing in front of a moviola looking at old '68 footage and crying.
I took that more as atmosphere.
It was real heavy atmosphere, real heavy humidity, I think. Fix starring Richard Dreyfuss gets a split decision. Roger gives it a yes. I think it's too preachy, and I give it a no. I don't recommend you see The Big Fix.